Hello, welcome to Full Record Jacket with Phil and Ben. I'm the Phil.
This is the Ben.
And this is a little video where we just talk about what we've been listening to this last week. And it does seem that Ben's listened to more different stuff than me. So let's hear some of your things, Ben. What have you had on?
Well, as you well know, Phil, it was my birthday this week and I was 21 again. And I have a brother, not as handsome and not as tall. And he did buy me this little beauty here, Turin Breaks, the Optimist LP. This is the 20th anniversary edition, so it's got the full album on the first disc. The second album is the demos for each track of the first disc, so it's basically the same album twice. Love that album. I've been after it for ages on vinyl. Well worth a listen. You need to get. I can't even speak. You need to.
I need to check it out.
To them, Phil. You need to check it out. Yeah. So I've been after this for a little while. So this replaced Exile on Main Street, and I said it correctly that time. And
although nothing can really replace Exile on Main Street, of course.
Nothing can. And then what else have I been listening to this week? I listened to some bits of Be Here Now. And I have listened to Standing on the Shoulders of Giants because I was reading about it this week, and I was reading an old interview with Noel Gallagher, and he hates the song Sunday Morning Call, which is why on the Time Flies, the singles album they released back after they split up, it only appears as a hidden track. It doesn't actually appear on the track listing.
Okay.
So... But I re-listened back to Standing on the Shoulders of Giants because I know it was sort of quite universally panned in a way. But I actually really love that album. It's very reflective.
Yeah, I do quite like it. I do like it. I like the production on the album. It was a bit different to what they'd done before.
Yeah,
I think it's sonically, I think it's good.
Yeah, the only track on there that I'm not 100% sold by is Who Feels Love. That's the only track on it. But I love I Can See a Liar, to the simple fact, the rhyme of I can see a liar standing by the fire, because Noel Gallagher wrote that and went, yeah, that will do. So
that's true, and I must admit, yeah, I do. I mean, this obviously is Go Let It Out. I think Where Did It All Go Wrong is a really, really strong song.
Yeah, that's a really good track. Yeah,
I always quite
musically, it's brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about that album more at length, but let's not do that now. It's just what we've been listening to.
And then what else have I been listening to? Menswear. So I got around to listening to a bit of Menswear this week. And then what else have I had on? I've had some other stuff on, bits and bobs. I listened to a little bit of Badly Drawn Boy the other day as well, because I've been off. I've been poorly. I've got Quinzes, or I had Quinzes at the start of the week, so I've been getting some music listened to. So
Quinzes sounds like it could be an indie band as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, the Quinzes, yeah. I wouldn't want to go and see them after suffering with them for a week. And then I've got this album on at the moment, which you can't see, by Moderate Rebels, and that's a really good album as well. So I've been mixing up this week, Phil. Bits of this, bits of that.
Cool. Well, I've been
Turin Breaks is my album of the week, if there is such a thing.
Well, that's
go buy it, kids.
Well, I've been on a classic rock trip, and I did something that I haven't done before, despite owning this album for probably over 20 years, and I listened to the entirety of Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs by Derek and the Dominoes.
I did look at buying that this week.
There's the Dominoes, which is, for anyone who doesn't know, this is an Eric Clapton project from 1970s. Got most famously Dwayne Allman is the other guitarist on this album, and obviously the title track Layla has been. Surely everyone has heard that, but I was turned on to listening to this, the whole thing all the way through. I've only ever sort of dipped in and out of it. I've never really sat and listened to the whole thing. But I was watching a video by a young lady in the US who does her own channel. She's called Abigail DeVoe, and we'll put a link to her in the comments. But she does this thing called Vinyl Mondays. And, well, she's got much better dress sense than us, Ben, because she wears a different 70s or 60s retro outfit for each video she does, each album that she does. And she's got a whole load of vinyl records, mainly classic 60s, 70s albums, and she knows a heck of a lot of stuff as well. And she did this quite in-depth one on the Layla album because it is her favourite album. It's the album that really got her into classic rock. And the story of the album is interesting because it's really, a lot of it's all about George Harrison's unrequited love for Pattie Boyd, who of course was married to his best mate George Harrison at that time. And there's also some great blues songs on there. But when you hear the way that Abby tells the story, it kind of makes you think, oh yeah, I want to listen to all of this. And I'll tell you what, it's bloody brilliant.
I'll have to listen to it. I don't think I've ever listened to it. I did, after you told me about it, I did have a look at buying it on vinyl, but I've bought so many, I can't help myself.
I know. I do like the fact as well that the song Layla, although it's a ludicrously overplayed rock classic, I do like the fact that the song comes near the end of the album rather than starting it off, because it's kind of as if you're building up to that.
Yeah, you know it's coming.
And when you've been through all the emotions of the songs before, you kind of get then that Layla is not just this guitar riff and this guitar, it is an emotive song as well. So, great work by all the musicians on that. Bobby Whitlock as well. Jim Gordon is on drums. He's the guy who played the drums on John Lennon's Imagine album, but then later in the 70s ended up in prison for killing his mother, bizarrely. He had some problems, but
still don't see what's wrong with our gear that we wear. This is perfect if you're wanting to rob old people of their pension money.
So have you? That is all you're listening this week, yeah?
I did have on in the car when I went to the doctor's the other day, Danielle Braybois' album.
I thought you were going to say Daniel O'Donnell from. I thought we were going into guilty pleasures again.
No, Miss Braybois', one of her first solo album, which was co-written with Greg Alexander of the New Radicals. So I've had that on in the car to and from the doctor's. So I've had an eclectic mix this week, Phil. No classics in there, even though Standing on the Shoulders of Giants may become a classic. Turin breaks, So some good stuff, some tunage.
Well, what do you think of what we've been listening to? Tell us what you think. Give us your opinions on it. Tell us what we should have been listening to instead. Go in the comments and please do share us, like us, share the love about us. We would just feel a warm, fuzzy feeling and we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.